Alright, what's going on YouTube? So I'm going to do a review simply because I didn't like the reviews that are out there on the internet. So I'm reviewing the Nutsac Leather Admin pouch. Kind of do a little quick review, my thoughts behind it, and kind of like what I keep in here. And of course like some of my takes of like what's in here. So alright, opening it up, great experience. The leather is like super supple. Very like smooth, high quality. It smells amazing. I've only had it for what, 2 months now, but it's held up pretty well. Been using it pretty much on a day-to-day basis. And yeah, it's held up great. Have really no complaints on the build quality. Of course, I haven't been like running around or tossing this thing and putting it through the paces, but for day-to-day use, it's been amazing. So what I keep in here, I usually keep some kind of battery bank. Here we have the, I don't even know what this brand is. I got it for like a Christmas like white elephant gift, but I thought it was so off-brand and super cheap that I was too embarrassed to even give it away. So I just kept it and bought something else. But dude, to my surprise, this thing's been amazing. 30 bucks, I think it's called Blavor, maybe I'm pronouncing it wrong. Blavor solar powered rechargeable battery bank, 10,000 milliamps I think. But yeah, quick charging, has a light on it. Don't really see any much use of it, but for that light. But come to find out, I didn't even realize it, but it does have wireless charging, and it charges it pretty freaking quick. If I can get this thing to work. There we go. Boom. Charging. Yeah, so nothing but happy with that product. Alright, moving on. Oh, something crazy. So I just recently came from a trip in Mexico. Bought these Work Pro like pliers. And so TSA almost like took this away, threw it away, if you will. The lady looked at me. I don't know if she was like new on the job. She's like, "No, you can't have this." I'm like, "Why? It's just pliers. It's not even sharp." So she handed it to me. I'm like, "How is this sharp?" So she looks to her like supervisor and is like, just waved it off like, "Oh, it's okay. It's fine. I'm just, you know." But then again, you know, even though they say it's TSA proof, at the end of the day, the TSA agent or whoever the hell is at the gate, depending on their mood, what they're feeling like, how far they're into their shift, ultimately has a say as to like what can cross a checkpoint. So there's that. Leatherman Arc. I don't see what's this whole hype about. I do like it. Haven't really had much use. I use my Leatherman Wave for the most part. This is kind of just my Gucci multi-tool. But my biggest issues with this, my biggest gripe with the Arc is it was rusting a little bit. I had to like take some rust remover to it. But that developed within, you know, not even 2 months of having this product. I didn't submerge it. I live in Vegas, for crying out loud, the driest damn city in the nation probably. Things still managed to rust. Got that. Got the Leatherman bit kit. I do have another bit kit from a different company, an off-brand, and I think it's actually kind of superior because it gives you more tools and the same profile. Moving on, one of my most used emergency tool, if you will, is super glue. Always keep super glue. I probably have like more uses of super glue than I can remember. Some fresh breath chewing gum because, you know, we don't want to smell your stank ass breath from day to day. Then we got some simple bandages. I'm not gonna pull it out because it's kind of a bitch to keep it in, but you can see, keep some band-aids on deck. Where the hell's sending me crap? Anyways, let's get that out of the way. Don't usually keep a breathalyzer on, but when I'm out drinking, that's what I love about this pouch. Like, you can take this out in like any setting, to the bar, you know, outdoors, traveling. It just kind of fits everywhere, right? The leather accent to it just makes it a little bit more uplifted, if you will. Oh, going back to the breathalyzer. So I kind of didn't even utilize it. Went to Mexico for a wedding and probably should have utilized this. It's a breathalyzer. I don't know how accurate it is. I don't know how long it stays accurate. I'm pretty sure this thing should get calibrated from a periodic basis, but I usually like hanging out between 0.1 and 0.12 on the alcohol level. Again, I don't encourage drinking, but if you're gonna do it, do it responsibly. Don't drink and drive. And if you kind of want to, you know, to get a mathematical gauge or a calculated gauge as to how drunk you are, how tipsy you are, this is kind of a useful tool. Going on, some facial sunscreen, coming with age. I'm about almost 38 now. And I'm kind of seeing the toll the sun has taken on my skin. But what I found that works best for me is this Sun Bum. Doesn't really feel like it's clogging my pores. Doesn't really irritate my skin. It doesn't leave that weird, like, clay-looking, pale, pasty residue on your face. And it also just smells good. So that's why I kind of stick with, kind of keep it all year round. From, like, the summertime to snowboarding, it just works great for me. Moving on, got a Bic lighter. Your basic Bic lighter. I don't care if it's Zippo or any of that fancy stuff. This thing has been, Bic lighters have always been reliable with me. I've been backpacking for, you know, well over a decade now, and always carry like a mini Bic lighter. This is probably overkill. Probably I should get like a mini Bic lighter because it takes up a little bit more real estate than I'd like. But Bic lighter with this little silicone protection just to kind of minimize inadvertent striking of the gas or the mechanism here. A better and probably more space efficient way would be using like a very small zip tie, kind of tapering it off or wrapping around this the little push mechanism to kind of cut it off. That's probably a better mechanism. I don't know why. I was like consumerism in me wanting to buy something purpose driven and made to stop it, so I kept this. But you can kind of still hear it when you push it, but you gotta give it a considerable amount of force to make that go off. But it makes it drop proof. Anyways, that's too much on a dang lighter. Chapstick, gotta keep chapstick. I use Bliss 6 as like one of the only chapsticks that my lips freaking don't break out on. Oh man, I don't even really, like, once I started keeping Tide pens, I've seen so much use out of them, especially now since I've been having to, like, buy clothes, and clothes is fucking expensive nowadays. Well, everything's kind of expensive, let's face it, nowadays. But to save you some time and just not pollute the world when you discard your fucking garments because you gotta stand on them, Tide pens, way to go. Some nitrile gloves and like a small pill Ziploc, kind of just keeping consolidated. Field notes, gotta keep field notes. I know all of us are on our cell phones. It's easy to kind of just look at our phones, but any way I can distract myself and get myself away from my phone, I'll do that. Sharpie marker, pretty damn useful. Rot Ring 600. So this was like, I saw like a product review about this Rot Ring 600, and so far so good. I mean, this thing is like bulletproof, dude. This thing is only like $25 versus, you know, the fucking ridiculous prices for pens now, because people are just working from home and have nothing else better to do to spend $150 on a pen. And I know damn well they're not using that pen as much as they think they are. Some duct tape. You can't really see it. I mean, some duct tape wrapped around a survival card. I think it's an SE survival card. It's like one of the survival cards that kind of, you know, give you certain survival skills. Of course, it's good to have it upstairs and memorize. Of course, it's wrapped up in some gafferman's tape, and you can't really see it. But in an event of an emergency, I would take this off and look at the emergency tips, survival tips. Moving on, got a USB-C to USB-C charger. Of course, that works with my charger. I still have a couple of things that are USB, micro USB, so I keep this USB-A to micro USB handy, and then a longer USB-C to USB-C. Moving on, we got some floss, eat a bunch of steak, eat out all the damn time. I just hate things getting lodged in my teeth. So it's kind of nice to have. Sandy wipes, love me some sandy wipes. I just like them in wipe form, because if I get crud on my hand, it's better than having just hand sanitizer. So you can wipe that stuff away. Some Zofran for nausea. Kind of always nauseous. Don't really know why. Medical condition. Moving on, some AAA batteries. I think it's just really for this breathalyzer. And then some alcohol pads, and of course a Apple AirTag, because there's a lot of crap in here. And not only this bag is expensive in and of itself. This thing is $160. They got a $15 off. But things expensive. Like to keep track of it. I be losing things occasionally, so Apple AirTag is what I use. It just, of course I use, if you're not a communist and use Apple products. It's just the interface with there's a lot of tracking devices, but Apple AirTags for me are just work out the best. So what I think, is it worth the $160? If you like something that's gonna last, it feels like it's gonna last. I've only had it for 3 months, but feels like it's gonna last. Great, well designed, thick leather, something you can take, to a formal set or semi-formal setting, to a very casual, bar. And you like to have your things. You got kids, you need things to kind of go to day to day, and just kind of overall preparedness. Zippers are insanely smooth, easy to access your things. And usually I just carry it in my hand when I'm going out my day. But if I don't, if I'm with the kids and I need to kind of put this on a strap, I paired it together with this Peak Design lanyard in, I think they call it Eclipse. I've never seen a damn Eclipse that looks like this color, but it's kind of like a dark burgundy color. Kind of matches, I'm not sure if the camera's picking it up, but it kind of matches the leather. I've liked Peak Design products. They're very intuitive, very innovative. The adjustment, how comfortable this thing is. Easy to put on, easy to take off. If I want the strap on, boom, there we go. Easy does it. So Nutsac doesn't make their own I guess they do make their own leather strap, but I think their thought process was a secondary thought behind this pouch. So one thing I will gripe about is the location of these tabs. I wish it was kind of offset to the side a little bit, because when you do add a strap, it kind of sits oddly on the body. So that would be my only gripe. I wish the tabs would be probably here somewhere. But with any fix leads to their other problems, so I'm sure they had their own idea as to why they located them here. Not much else, man. If you guys have any questions, shoot a question in the comments. Love to answer them. Hopefully in the future I'll make another video, but until then, we'll see. Peace.